Coming up on Sports Paws, the MAC basketball tournaments took place last week where this time a champion was crowned.
And Quinnipiac men's ice hockey is about to start its own conference tournament.
We got a packed show tonight, so sit back and relax for another edition of Sports Paws.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. I'm Dylan Summer.
And I'm Eric Kerr. Dylan, it's an exciting time for Quinnipiac sports. The MAC tournament just wrapped up, and ECAC hockey, it's about to start its postseason play, and all of this with your first time at the desk. You ready to go?
I am so ready to get started.
Let's go. I can feel the energy already. Let's start our show right with some hoops, that being Quinnipiac men's hoops, as the Bobcats took on the Iona Gales in the first round of the MAC tournament. You have the tape. You see it on your screen. Number 8 seeded Quinnipiac, number 9 seed Iona, coached by the legend himself, Rick Pitino. We'll see if he can lead his Iona Gales squad to a victory in this matchup. But Quinnipiac to start out really well with this nice pass from Ty Mushinnery inside to Savion Lewis. But it was a battle defensively early, as a lot of rebounds, loose balls, guys are fighting and diving on the floor. It's hectic out there, Dylan. But Iona trying to respond as best as they can. That's Ryan Myers, missed 3 right there, another defensive rebound. But Brendan McGuire trying to get some offense going for his Quinnipiac squad. Nice little move inside off the spin. Now here's Ryan Myers again, ball stripped. Again, Quinnipiac doing the best they can on defense, being one of the best defensive teams in the MAC this season. As Iona, good drive there by Colton Cashaw to hit the layup. Iona now up 25-20 in the half, and then the Gales would just start to take over. Here's Barrett John Luis, nice layup inside. Another good stop from the Gales. A good drive that side again from the Gales. Great finish inside. And Isaiah Ross hitting that one for the top of the key. Gets that one to go down. Nice shot from Ross. Looking like a boss on that shot right there. And then Ryan Myers once again knocking down the 3. Jacob Bergoni, one of the Quinnipiac's all-time three-point leaders, just couldn't get that one to go today. Offensive struggles for the Bobcats, clearly evident. And then Nelly Jr. Josephs is putting icing on the cake right there. That one put him up 55-37, leading to a final score. Iona 72, Quinnipiac 48. Quinnipiac is a first-round exit.
And after Quinnipiac's loss, let's see how the rest of the tournament shaped out. Iona cruised their way into the championship after upsetting the number 1 seed Siena Saints and number 5 seed Niagara Purple Eagles. The Gales guards Isaiah Ross and Asante Guest each dominated and pushed their team until the end. On the other side of the bracket, Fairfield knocked off 2nd seed Monmouth and 3rd seed St. Peter's. The MAC championship would be a battle between 2 underdogs. Now let's find out who took home the hardware. Take the highlight. Here we go for the first half. We got Nelly Jr. Joseph posting up and finishing for 2. However, the first half was not an offensive showing for either team. Fairfield really struggled against Iona's defense getting these shot clock violations, Eric.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pressure from the Gales early. You could see that Pitino really was firing up his squad.
And here we see Asante Guest as he ended the half with a 3 to put them up 20-15.
Nice little mid-range jumper there from him too.
And there we see another 3 from Gist.
Wow, what an offensive performance.
Here we go to the second half now, as we got Fairfield's Wojcik hitting it to make the score 32-28. And we got him driving in. Dylan Van Eck hits the turnaround to give the Gales a 13-3 run. And Isaiah Ross drives inside to get a layup with that nasty crossover right there. You see him falling to the ground.
That was nasty, Dylan. Oh my goodness.
And he hits the shot, and it would be the end for Fairfield's run, as it was 52-36. Oh, 60-51.
And while a first-round exit was not ideal, there were still many great moments to remember from this year's Quinnipiac team. Today, we narrowed down those moments to 3 for the top 3 moments of Quinnipiac men's basketball. Starting out at number 3 is Luis Courtright. And you will see it here very shortly. Play number 3, Courtwright's 26-point performance, including this sexy layup inside. What a nice finish from Courtwright. And then cap it off with a corner three, too. You gotta love to see that right there. Number 2, we have another rookie, that rookie being Taimu Shittering, pulling up from way downtown. Bang! From the People's United Bank logo. We'll take another look at that one in slow motion. Contested shot, no problem right there for Shittering. That was a buzzer beater to end off the first half in that game. Beautiful. Textbook. Now, play number 1. There's no moment more special this year than Jacob Bergoni this season. 1,000 career points, and that 3 right there was one that put him in the program leader for all-time 3-pointers. Talk about so many threes in his career. That would be standing at about 257 career threes while shooting 40% from distance in his Quinnipiac career.
The women's basketball team would also make their way to Atlantic City. They faced off against the Rider Bronx. Let's see how they did. Second seed Quinnipiac faced off against the Bronx in the MAC quarterfinals.
Definitely a big matchup for Rider, sure, after taking down Monmouth the last game.
Let's go into the first half. We got a pass from Sojata Boner, who will find Rose Cavalry with a 15-footer from the 3-throw line.
And another one from Cavalry there too, Dylan. Talk about that corner 3.
Yeah, they were up by 5 at that point, but then things took a turn for the worse for the Bobcats as Michaela Morris loses the ball right there.
A little sloppy play there too, Dylan. They're trying to get that pass going.
Game was tied at 24-24 with less than 2 left to go in the half. Amanda Mobley looking for the right moment, but couldn't find it there.
Yeah, lockdown defense from the Rider side right there. That 2-3 zone really getting Quinnipiac's head.
Amanda Mobley looking for the right moment, passes to Moses, cutting to the basket, finishes with the layup, allowing Rider to take the victory, 62-50.
Yeah, definitely some good work there. Nice little coming off the screen from Amanda Mobley. Oh man, tough one for Quinnipiac for sure. And after Quinnipiac's exit in the MAC quarterfinals, here's what the rest of the bracket looked like on the women's side. After winning against Monmouth and Quinnipiac, Rider's Cinderella run would end at the hands of the number 3 seed, St. Peter's. It was a back-and-forth battle, but Taya Thornton's 16 points was enough for the Peacocks to come out on top. The number 1 seeded Marist Red Foxes were in the opposite side of the bracket and dominated their competition. They took down Siena and Fairfield, and against the Stags, Will Duffel 17 points and 9 rebounds helped lift the Red Foxes to the championship. So you just saw the bracket. It's St. Peter's, it's Marist. So let's see who came out on top in the women's MAC tournament final. Take that highlight. Here we go. Marist and St. Peter's on your screen. It's a battle of number 1 and number 3. You see the intros. Both teams are really hyped to be here. And not Quinnipiac this time either. It's something that these women's teams definitely don't want to see. But here we go. First quarter of action. Marist proving why they're the number 1 seed here with his lockdown defense. Allie Best recovers the steal. Red Foxes running. Here comes Duffel driving inside. And one! What a finish from Willow Duffel. And then here we go, some more Marist action here. Ball finds its way over to the corner for Kendall Crick. 3-ball, corner pocket, she gets it to go. But second quarter, St. Peter's trying to do everything they can to get back into it. And if there's one person you go to, it could be Tyra McQueen. Go off, Queen. Knocking down that 3 from way downtown. Taya Thornton trying to get something to go here. She can't get it to go, but Binta Salawu can. Knocks the 3 down. Pump fake gets that 3 to go. But third quarter was all Marist. And that was mainly led from the charge of Willow Duffel. Puts that one. Easy layup. Allie Best now finds Duffel again. Easy layup. She would go on to finish with a double-double of 20 points and 13 rebounds. Dominating performance for her. Now heading into the fourth quarter, Marist was up big, 51-24. Dylan, pretty much the bench players are in at this point, so they're just trying to get some more reps for the younger guys out here. And one of those players was Victoria Isenenko. Knocks down the mid-range jumper of Marist, punches their ticket into the tournament, 69-30 or fine.
The MAC postseason awards are out, and the winners included some Bobcats. Let's take a look at who won the MAC Women's Basketball Player of the Year. Mackenzie DeWeese takes home the hardware. She ranked in the top 8 in the MAC with points, rebounds, field goal percentage, steals, and assist turnover ratio. She also tallied a career highs this year in points, steals, rebounds, and field goals. It was quite a season for the junior guard.
Yes, certainly. Mackenzie Deweese dominated out there, Dylan, but another Bobcat that also won some hardware, and that player was Michaela Morris. Michaela Morris won the MAC Defensive Player of the Year award, being slated at the start of the season to make the MAC all-preseason second team, but she finished as the MAC's leading rebounder at 10.7 rebounds per game, while at the same time standing at second in the conference in blocks per game and ninth in steals per game. Morris and Deweese also finished on the MAC women's basketball first team, and Rose Caverly also earned honors on the MAC women's basketball third team.
Now that the women's basketball season has come and gone, let's take a look at the top 3 moments from their impressive season. Coming in at number 3, we have QU versus Providence. Michaela Morris hits the spin move, fadeaway jump shot, and you could count the foul. Now over to number 2. Quinnipiac taking on Fairfield and Mackenzie Deweese turned on the spin cycle, and she's going to take it all the way to the basket. No surprise as to why she was named MAC Women's Basketball Player of the Year. And now let's go to play number 1. No shocker on this one. This may have been the coolest moment to take place in all of college this sports year. Kat Almeida coming back from a thyroid cancer, playing in her first game as she comes up with that huge block right there. That rounds out our top 3 moments from this year's women's basketball season.
Yeah, definitely. Kat Almeida's block was surely inspiring, but shifting the court now to the rink, let's see what the bracket looks like for the ECAC men's hockey side. So if you look at the right side of the bracket, you'll notice that Quinnipiac won't be playing anyone in the first round of the tournament. That's because Clarkson was slated to play against Quinnipiac, but the rest of their season has been suspended after the team violated COVID-19 protocols. That means the Bobcats will be awaiting the winner of a semifinal matchup between the number 2 seeded St. Lawrence Saints and the number 3 seeded Colgate Raiders in the ECAC Hockey Championship game this Saturday.
First-year Ty Smolenic has been nominated as a finalist for the ECAC Hockey Rookie of the Year. He was one of the 4 finalists named. It was not a bad year for the first year, who was drafted by the Florida Panthers last fall. He tallied 14 goals and 20 points this season for the Bobcats, an impressive start for the young forward, Eric.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ty Smolenic coming in as someone that had a lot of expectations and certainly filled those expectations. A speedster, a great skater for sure. Definitely excited to see what he will be able to do. But let's jump to now Quinnipiac's goalie Keith Petrozelli. He was also recognized with ECAC honors as the conference's goalie of the year. The senior goalie won 4 ECAC Goaltender of the Week awards, recording a total of 615 saves on the year and saved about 93% of those shots against him. He finished with a record of 17-6 in between the pipes, including 5 shutouts against 3 separate teams, including Colgate, Clarkson, and Holy Cross. Petrozelli has been in the net for a while with these Bobcats, starting at least one each of his 4 seasons as a member of the team. And we're going to head into a quick break, but Dylan, what should the viewers expect to see when we come back?
Well, Eric, women's lacrosse looked to find their first win of the season, and the field hockey team traveled to Villanova to take on the Wildcats. We'll be right back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. It's here. It's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
it's time to talk about the spring sports. After starting out the season 0-2, women's lacrosse picked up its first win of the season last Friday afternoon. It was against the Canisius Golden Griffins as Quinnipiac picked up the 13-10 win. The Bobcats were in control in the first half, leading 7-4. However, the Golden Griffins tied the game at 8 in the second after Marissa Malvaso scored 2 goals in a row. Graduate student Megan Swazlowski scored 2 straight goals of her own, giving Quinnipiac the lead back. From there, the Bobcats didn't look back as Swazlowski finished the game with 4 goals.
Women's volleyball tipped off a doubleheader against the Canisius Golden Griffins last Sunday. The Bobcats held on to win 3 of the 2 in the first match. Maggie Baker with a big game with 25 kills, tying her career high. Plus, Ariana Diaz had a total of 60 total attacks, and the Bobcats felt confident going into match 2. After winning the first match, the Bobcats were unable to find their rhythm for the second match. Canisius had a total control of match 2, taking it 3-0. Ella Luisa had 13 kills and 30 total attacks. The Bobcats will look to rebound as they face Marist on Friday.
Yeah, definitely going to be exciting to see what Quinnipiac volleyball could do. But after starting out the season strong with a win against Providence, Quinnipiac field hockey looked to do the same in a weekend series against Villanova. Both games are on the road against Villanova in Pennsylvania. First game was on Saturday afternoon. You see the game on your screen, so let's get right into it. Quinnipiac field hockey looking to pick up their second straight win after defeating Providence in their season opener. Not much in the first. We'll skip straight to the second. It's Quinnipiac striking first. This one from Olivia Howard. Opening the scoring for the Bobcats. That one was high up and over the Villanova goalie. QU up 1-0 at the half. Third quarter of action now. Wildcats, they said, let's try to kick it into gear now. Here comes Emily Clark, sets up Megan Mitchell. Puts that one into the back of the net. Score tied now at 1 apiece. But Nova wasn't done. Still in the third quarter. They finally would capture their first lead of the game off this shot right here from Sabine de Rucher. Gives the Wildcats a 2-1 lead in the third. Now heading into the fourth. Villanova looking to extend their lead. And they do. Nice one again. Nova now up 3-1. Quinnipiac trying to cut into this one. However, Juliana Capello puts that one in, but it's just not enough as Nova takes this one 3-2, your final score in the first game. And now after dropping game 1, Quinnipiac had a chance to redeem themselves on Sunday afternoon, so let's see if they got it done. So here we go now, game 2 between Nova and Quinnipiac. Same matchup on the weekend. We'll see if Quinnipiac can have a better fare in this one. As here we go, we'll start off the action right now in the second quarter. Again, not much action again. I don't know what the field hockey's teams do. They just don't score in the first quarter. But either way, there's a nice shot right there from Nina Santor for the goal. Early, quick 1-0 lead for Nova. But they're not done. How about Megan Mitchell? This time setting up Nina Santor, who puts it in again. That's back-to-back goals, 2-0 Nova. And here we go again. Nova, another goal. Emily Clark, this one's not looking good for Quinnipiac right now. And now again in the second quarter. Nova, talk about 4-0 off some quick work here, trying to put it back in, and they do. That was Rachel Overlander taking the rebound and putting that one in. We finally skipped now to the fourth quarter as 4 goals was a lot for Quinnipiac to come back from. They just couldn't do it. Here's another goal from Nova right here, just throwing salt in the wound. Megan Mitchell puts that one in. 5-0 your final score as Quinnipiac falls to 1-2 on the season. But now here live in the studio to recap the field hockey weekend in detail is Q30's field hockey beat reporter Izzy Agricola. Izzy, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I am very excited to be here, but as you guys probably just saw, the Quinnipiac Bobcats are not so excited about their performance last weekend.
I mean, obviously, but we'll see if they can rebound for that. So, this is not what the Bobcats wanted, losing 2 in a row to this Wildcats team. But, how would you define this weekend overall for Quinnipiac as they head into the rest of their games?
Well, I'm going to put it into one word for you, Eric, and that's disappointing. There's simply no other word that's going to kind of encapsulate what happened this weekend in Villanova. There were some positives, so I'll start with those, so I'm just not a negative Nelly the whole time. The first game was a close 3-2 loss, which was good because the teams are pretty equal. The first goal from Quinnipiac came off a penalty corner, as you saw, which was something I was really excited about because what they were working on a lot this year was specialty situations like those corners. However, they only got 3 penalty corners compared to Nova's 13 penalty corners. So if they're going to be good on scoring on their penalty corners, they need to be getting more of those penalty corners. But now we're going to go into the negatives. Their chance at a 500 season, gone. It's not there anymore. They need at least both those games over Villanova plus 4 over Providence to even break even, and they're not going to do it because they cannot beat UConn and they can't beat ODU. So losing 5-0 on Sunday was really the nail in the coffin for letting them know that they're not going to have a winning season this year.
Izzy, who are some new Bobcats to look for on the field?
So there's a lot of exciting veteran faces that I really love to watch, but there are 4 new first-year faces that I am really excited to see put their stuff out on the field. First up, we have goalkeeper Nina Santor. She started all 3 games this year already. She had a career-high 7 saves on Friday and only allowed 3 goals on those 13 penalty corners I was talking about. So I'm excited to see her against more high-scoring teams like the UConns and just see what kind of numbers she can put up. And then midfielders Bevan Gebhardt and Michaela Grajales add a lot of depth and speed. We haven't seen a ton of them yet this year, but being able to have the whole roster run during the games is going to allow them to better compete against those teams like UConn, even if they're not going to win against them. And last but not least, we have forward Emmeline Biggin. She's from Carlisle Place, New York, where she had an outstanding track record, including the 2018 offensive MVP. If she gets it on those corners with Capello and Howard, I think she can really start to rack up the points, and I'm looking for her to have a very impressive season this year.
Yeah, Izzy, obviously you mentioned some of the players already, but after losing some of their key stars last year, like Bianca Strube and Ines Ruiz Martinez, who will be the players this year that could fill their shoes?
So I have 2 players that I'm really looking to watch. First one is redshirt junior Brooke Whipke. She's looked over a lot, but I could not get enough of her last year. Whenever she was on the field, my eye was always drawn to her, and I cannot wait to continue to watch her this year. She's strong. She's fast. She has a rocket drive that's really going to help on those corners and replace Bianca Strube, like you said. Overall, Becca Main has described her as a workhorse. I would use the same word because I think she's such a great role model for younger players to never give up no matter what the score is in those games. And then my second player to watch is sophomore forward Juliana Capello. She absolutely blew me out of the water last year as a rookie. She led QU rookies with 6 goals and 12 points, which put her second on the team as a first year. And she was the Big East Rookie of the Week for a couple weeks, and 5 out of those 6 goals came in Big East play, which is really important because this year's an all-conference season. So if she can put up numbers in those Big East games, they might have a chance to have a little bit closer. Like I said, they're not going to beat UConn, they're not going to beat ODU, but I think she's going to be the highest scorer of the season for the Bobcats.
Izzy, what are your predictions as QU faces a dominant UConn Huskies this weekend?
So like you said, 2 games this week. I think I've really put it in perspective for you guys. Quinnipiac is not going to beat UConn, and I hate to sound like a negative Nelly like this. I love a Cinderella story. I'd love if they could come out and upset them. I just don't even think it's possible. UConn is such a powerhouse, not only in the Big East Conference, but in the country. They've won the national championship multiple times. So even if the Bobcats had an absolutely perfect game, I don't see them winning against them. Even if UConn has an off game, I just think they're too strong. They have too much depth. There's no way, especially because UConn's coming off a big loss against their Big East rivals, Liberty, so they're going to ultimately start strong, but I'm going to guess a 4-1 loss for Quinnipiac on this game. But the Bobcats will have a chance to redeem themselves and get a point this weekend on their Friday game at Providence, who I think is the only team that they can beat this year. I originally said maybe they can beat Villanova. They already showed us they're not going to beat Villanova. They played Providence 3 more times. They beat them the first game of the season. I think they can beat them again, but they really have to come out with a fire under them because otherwise they're not going to be able to get those points, they're not going to be able to put them away, and they're not going to be able to win those games.
We have one more break, but when we come back, stay tuned for the latest news on men's lacrosse.
Plus, baseball captains have been announced, and of course, our annual Top 5 Plays. Stick with us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Drew, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Now, the baseball team has revealed the captains for the upcoming season. Head coach John Delaney has decided to name graduate students Blake Dakar, Dylan Lutz, David Longstreet, alongside senior Ian Osberg as this year's leaders of the team. Dakar, Lutz, and Longstreet were all seniors last year, but were eligible to come back to Quinnipiac after receiving one extra year to play due to the cancellation of the MAC 2020 spring sports season.
Senior catcher Colton Bender was named to the award watch list for the Buster Posey National Collegiate Catcher of the Year. Bender had 4 home runs in 2020 and a .391 slugging percentage. He was also a solid from behind home plate.
Well, Dylan, it is that time of the week again. Sports Paws, top 5 plays. Dylan, since this is your first time, I'll show you how it's done with the odds. You can take the even. Sounds good?
Yep.
All right, let's get right into the action. Here we go, starting out with play number 5. Top 5 plays. We're going to start off with, of course, an Atlantic City MAC tournament play as Kiara Bikini skips it over the corner to find Rose Caverly to the 3-ball corner pocket.
Coming in at number 4, it's some great movement from the Quinnipiac field hockey team, which leads to Juliana Capello's goal.
Nice shot from Capello. You see it again on your screen. Very nice play from her. We head into play number 3 now. It's more field hockey, and it's more Villanova. Emily Clark finds Megan Mitchell, puts it in the back of the net. That game was all Villanova as Villanova takes that one 3-2.
Now for play number 2, we head back to Atlantic City for it's Iona's Isaiah Ross with the step back ankle-breaking 3.
You could say Isaiah Ross was looking like a boss on that play with that ankle breaker. Now heading into play number 1. This one made SportsCenter's top 10. It's Kat Henslever with a lunging save. An easy choice for the top play of the week. And to end off our show, let's take a look at some of the upcoming games for Quinnipiac's fall-spring sports games. As you can see on your screen, we got some good ones here. Women's soccer taking on Ryder. That will be on the road. Men's soccer also traveling off to Fairfield. And a couple home games as well. Obviously, we have that Quinnipiac TBA matchup for the Men's Ice Hockey Championship. And volleyball has a 2-game series this weekend against Marist, Friday at 12-3.
Now let's take a look at some more sports taking place this weekend. The field hockey team will face off against the always dominant UConn women's lacrosse, and they'll look to keep things going as Iona softball and baseball will officially begin their seasons. Should be a good one, and make sure to tune in.
Oh yeah, definitely good to be seeing spring sports back again. I am excited for it, Dylan, but unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this week. Be sure to check out all of our content on Q30TV.com, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Q30Sports for coverage on all things Quinnipiac athletics. You can also check out all of our content right through your phone on the Q30 TV app. For all the producers and everyone else behind the scenes, I'm Eric Kerr.
And I'm Dylan Summer. Have a great night.